Okay, cool. How do you fucking even do shit like that? How do you even accept the fact that, oh, okay, oh, now computer's doing a little acting a little, let's see, come on, all right, here we go. How do you keep spending all your time? It's almost like, and I would have said this, it's like these folks literally want to keep people working and so bogged down in today's happiness and everything that you have no time literally to sit back and understand that everybody, that not only oneself but those around you, your neighbors and everybody, are being played. They being scammed. They being scammed to the fullest, man. This is something they can't turn back from because it includes the whole planet. Everybody has been touched in some form, shape, fashion, or form along this journey, where they have been scammed to the point where many nations, many countries, many peoples, have been victimized by something going on out here. Some people call it a cult, some people call it a cabal, deep state, whatever. Person can call it what the fuck they want. But if you're sitting up here and you can't understand that these motherfuckers who everybody putting their trust in and all this shit, and you cannot see that there's a hidden hand working behind that shit, yet putting all your faith in somebody to come save you from that, you're totally fucking wrong and missing the whole point. I remember just a couple of days ago, and I seen an article and it was a debate on Jesus is black, Jesus, all this. I'm so sick of that shit, man. Like, what the fuck? To me, it's like, what does that matter? Because when you look at the pure teachings of Christ, Jesus the Christ, when you look at the pure teachings that he brought, everything that a motherfucker is talking about that they stand for, and they stand with Jesus, he would not be standing with nobody to accept this shit. And that's just real fucking talk. And I remember I responded on an article I put on there. They were talking about all this, and I said, look here, if Jesus was on the scene right now, and all these so-called people that say they run around, they accept Jesus and all this, and his blood covers us and he sacrificed, because everybody talk all that stuff. It sounds good, and this is something that has been going on for so many years. People could take it how they want to take it. There's no disrespect, but I'm just saying, calling it from a standpoint of, damn, it's either you seeing what you seeing or you faking, you in denial about it. So if Jesus was on the scene right now, walking straight down the street or in a city or another country, and all this bull crap that's anti-human, that's totally against morality, universal law, divine concepts, Jesus would be sitting up here calling all this stuff out, calling these same lying-ass hypocrites that people go around here and vote for. He would be calling these same people, these institutions out there everybody keep talking about, that you got to be a part of it in order to be in a successful society or democracy or whatever the fuck they want to call it. Jesus would be calling all that shit out. Jesus would be calling out all these motherfucking hypocrites who sitting up here talking about they using his name to legitimize the hurt or harm that goes toward others. That's nothing. That is something that Jesus never stood for. So to completely try and turn around and use that as talking points throughout the years is totally disgusting. Jesus was on the scene today. He would not accept this institution as for it is, because all of it is totally against what he taught. People got to understand that. He would be labeled as an anti this, anti that. He would be censored. Everything would be moved against him like it was done back then, according to the scripture. But everybody for some reason act like, oh shit, This is distortion. This is how a motherfucker been played. You know? And it's just fucking disgusting to see people that scream all this holier than thou stuff, and they sit up here and they support bullshit. They support the same folks lying to them every fucking day, and then sit back and say, well, I'm gonna trust that God but you trusting in God to bring you through without you acknowledging that you're being lied to. How does that work? You just want to just float on by. It doesn't work like that. It's like you have to acknowledge this shit for what it is, man. These folks sit up here every fucking day pushing people's buttons. They got people knocking at the door of homelessness and poverty and all this other shit. Each and every human being on this planet deserves way much better than what the fuck they've been dealing with. Even those that even are off a little bit better, they just may not understand it, but everybody on this planet deserves to live in peace, deserve to have abundance, deserve that. Shouldn't have to be sitting up here begging the same motherfuckers y'all vote for, same motherfuckers y'all clap y'all hands for these dumbass speeches and shit that don't mean nothing, especially when they sit up and say something, and then within a week's time, it's already people coming out, oh, they lied, they doing this and doing that. Don't a motherfucker get sick of that shit? I'm just being real. Shouldn't a motherfucker get tired of that shit? Every year it's the same fucking shit. Right now, this is the most pivotal time in history all over the planet. Human history. All this shit is going on all over the globe, and everybody's still sitting up here acting like this shit is peasy keasy or whatever. No, it's fucking not. And it's like this because people don't want to sit up and call these raggedy motherfuckers out for what they is. Instead, they'd rather listen to them and act like they all holier than thou, the shit they got to offer and the shit that they have to say is gold, and we need to go by it. This is the way we move forward, which you don't see that shit manifesting in the world. Where is people moving forward? I can't see how people moving forward when you see more people being suffering. People lose their lives. People are dying every fucking day around here. People act like they don't know what the fuck going on, or want to bypass talking about certain things because they stuck in their mind about, well, you know, people die every day. And I'll tell anybody in their fucking face, if you ask that question, it's been a bunch of people dying every fucking day. It's been a lot of people passing away in the last couple of years. It ain't just been because, 2021, the pandemic. It's been people passing away through mysterious shit, people dying for violence, war, all this shit. If you sit up there and say that shit, that's not true, you're a fucking liar. Yeah, I had to get loud with that. You're a fucking liar. Then people want to sit up here and act like they don't know what's going on with people who just up and pass away, people that just up and die. Nothing been going on. And a person that sit up there and say they don't know what, you're a fucking liar. Because I done seen this shit happen around me. People that I've loved, friends, loved ones who have seen this shit. People around me who are experiencing this same bullshit. So how the fuck can you sit up here and accept anything out of these mouths of all these demonic people out here? It's sad and it's disgusting. And it's to a point where you gotta call it like you said. It's like they're demonic. It's almost like you gotta call them demonic. Yes, I call them demonic. I don't give a fuck what their skin color is. If they're doing shit against the proper evolution of humanity, they are fucking demonic. And they're not answering, they're not listening to those supposed people who gave them the authority in the first place through this raggedy ass voting process. That cheapened ass voting process that's been having problems for how long, but yet people still act like, oh, this shit. This the shit we got to keep doing or whatever. Even though you see these folks lying back and forth, people pointing the fingers back and forth. Oh, y'all trying to keep people from voting because y'all Republicans. And y'all don't want motherfuckers. Get the fuck out of here. I'm so sick of that dumbass shit. And it's disgusting to see so many black people so caught up in this dumbass shit that you act like you don't know how to think for your fucking selves. Yes, I said it. Yes, I said it because that's some fucking disgusting, ignorant ass shit to constantly see. And you know what? It's disturbing because when you start awakening to certain things, you these titles and all that shit, you start to see from becoming more aware of shit that it ain't even about that. We've been living this shit because this is the way motherfuckers have been wanting to live. You control your own destiny, manifesting shit into the world that is totally awkward and bullshit and causing nothing but strife and struggle, when you could be manifesting peace, harmony, working together, everybody living and having prosperity without all this motherfucking back and forth shit. What's wrong with that? But people don't think like that. Everybody got to put themselves in a small little space, and then anybody else outside the pace, it's ridiculous. I'm so sick of it, man. I look at myself as being a child of God. I don't care what anybody else says. That's what they have to say. I am a child of God. Everybody else out here is children of God. No matter what the fuck, whatever you claim or all that shit. You got a soul, you got a spirit, you got the spirit of truth within you that's sleeping. So to sit up here and say, oh, I'm this, I'm that, I understand it now. No, I'm a child of God. And yes, I'm experiencing life as a black man. Yes. But that doesn't define who I am. Because before you are who you are, when you were in that womb, what were you? You are a human being born. So this shit that they ain't got everybody caught up on, man, get the fuck out of here, man. So it's disgusting when I constantly hear black folks try and use tired ass lines like that shit really giving a motherfucker fuck out of here, man. So I told you this was gonna be a rant. So I'm gonna go back to this this thing. I want to go to let me see. It might not be on here. And then they wonder why so many people out here are becoming disassociated with a lot of folks and beginning to take a step back. Because now you have people starting to look at other people as being, oh, maybe the way you thinking is continuing to contribute to the way we being treated by our government and everything else. Because people are constantly doing shit, and then you have a cabal, you have a deep state, or these hidden hand sitting back, monitoring and manipulating everything, using all these lying ass folks that are getting paid. They're profiting off of everybody's suffering. You can believe, take it or leave it. Let me go. Here. And then they wonder why you see articles like this. As attendance dips, churches change to stay relevant for a new wave of worshipers. What would be the reason why the churches will be no longer relevant? Or any maybe it's because people see that the churches and other have setting up here and allowed demonic influences to control them. When you're supposed to be all about God, all about following Jesus, all about teaching truth, all about bringing people to the fold and showing them how to incorporate the love and life of Jesus into your own life, in which you can begin to manifest. That's what Yeshua was speaking on the whole time. No, they wouldn't want Jesus in the pulpit or Yeshua They wouldn't want him to show up, but they'll sit up here and let one of these demonic senators or Congress folks that's running for a position, or these dumbass motherfuckers that's supposedly running for presidents or whatever, come up in the cockpit, pulpit and talk all this shit. You know, you might as well say cockpit, because once they step there, they're going to be flying your ass all around with some bullshit. And it's sanctioned by what? The church. Get the fuck out of here. Then they wonder why the attendance is dips. And then people are studying more history. People are understanding there's more shit going on. That more shit have been hidden from humanity than what these folks have been saying in the first fucking place. More shit about the religions. More shit about ancient civilizations and structures and buildings and all this stuff. All this stuff, more people are becoming more aware of stuff around that motherfuckers don't want to talk about, because they'd rather talk about Brittany Griner and that dude that was traded for in Russia, which was stupid as fuck as well. So how do you even come back from that? How do you even hold any credibility? But they're going to talk about that, then talk about why. And, you know, one of the things I've been talking about over the last couple of weeks now, I've been about all the shit, all the focus being on like some ancient structures that we know of, pyramids all over the planet. And you got, you know, different obelisks and stuff from, you know, antiquity. And then you got right in most of these cities in the country, including where I'm at, and cities all over the world, you got structures and buildings that don't make sense when you look at the timelines of when they fucking supposed to build that shit. And nobody was around at that time to be sitting around doing that stuff. They didn't even have the resources. How was those buildings built if motherfuckers were all running around with buggies and horses and all that shit? I get it. Like, what the fuck? And then you look down there, you can't find out one of those buildings even remade. Motherfucker can't even replicate the process of making it. Because these folks lying, man. The same institutions, the same groups of so-called thinkers and big mouths, talking heads that want to keep people, and this shit go all the way into science, all that shit. They're fucking liars, man. Then you wonder why people losing attendance in churches and all that shit. Maybe because people tired of hearing that dumbass shit, especially when hypocrites are sitting up here trying to judge folks. Folks are sitting here. I'm gonna go back to. Hold on 1 minute. Let's see. Stay away. And you know they don't even cover a lot of stuff on this judge report anymore. So I'm gonna get off of here and just continue to go, because all the stuff that I'm talking about, you can Google it, you can go on Brave, you can go to DuckDuckGo or any, and you can kind of see what the hell I'm. But makes no fucking sense that people will continue to sit here. It's disgusting what these folks are doing, and it's more disgusting to see your own neighbors sitting up here would rather talk shit about their neighbors and talk about all the bullshit that probably could have been avoided. It probably would have been a different world if people would step up and say, look here, y'all motherfuckers lying. We need to get to fuck that. Even if it means, man, we not going to work. We not about to pay no fucking taxes. We not about to do shit until motherfuckers get this shit right. Look at what the fuck they're doing. How do you okay institutions promoting sex to be taught in schools to children that don't even, it's not, that's not even the purpose why they're there. It's those ages. So why, if it wasn't good to be teaching it back then when I was in school, especially when the whole deal was about women, you know, it wasn't about nothing else, about women. If it wasn't good then to talk about, you know, to mention sex and sexual conduct and all that stuff, then why the fuck is it good now? And then talking about sex and stuff in homosexual relationships and transgender. What? But nobody, these are institutions, these are groups are pushing this shit. And everybody's sitting up here because they may be a part of it, they may be affected by it because they may be one. This is not against nobody that's gay, not against nobody that's transgender. I done heard plenty of people that say that they are sick of their cause being used as a means to distort and distract everything. So people who are homosexual, who are transgender, everybody's not acting like that. Just like everybody who's black is not agreeing with everything that black folks keep throwing out here because it's part of this goddamn brainwash shit. Just like white folks don't want to own up to certain shit or don't even want to call certain stuff out because they fucking brainwashed. And as you keep going around the board, the same shit in other countries, other cultures, same old shit. All of it leads back to these sorry motherfuckers who supposedly guess they got power over people, or people gave them power. All this shit while these motherfuckers are doing so much shit, condemning, blaming folks, doing this, doing that, not being held accountable, not taking responsibility, none of that shit. But everybody else supposed to just say fuck it. That's sad. It's disgusting. It's disgusting to see people sit up here and try to legitimize what these folks doing overseas, even over here with people that can't afford to pay their bills, people that's sitting up here worried about the heating and energy shit that's going on all over. It's disgusting to have to see people say, "Oh shit, we gotta cut back on eating today," or I gotta live out my room. I've seen stories about that. People living in their room because they can't afford to heat the rest of their house. That's disgusting. How the fuck can you sit up here and justify that shit? Or even accept the bullshit that these so-called fake leaders are even put that out there for you to have to grow through. None of them are going through that shit. You can guarantee that. While they getting paid off for everybody else being fucked over, you can guarantee that shit. Why? That's fucking disgusting. It's disgusting to see motherfuckers okaying transgender people and people who want to continue to talk about sex with children that shouldn't be talked about. When they get of a certain age, and that's something that they're gonna have to deal with when they get of that age. But why the fuck are y'all pushing that shit now? And why is it so many people okay with that shit and thinking that shit cool? Why is the government promoting that shit? What the fuck, man? It's disgusting. It's disgusting to see motherfuckers or hear or read about motherfuckers that are being charged, being taken to jail, being threatened, being given warnings because they're trying to help people. But because they didn't go through a government loophole or they ain't doing it the way that the government or some other sorry motherfucker wants them to do, then they not doing it right. But when you put it in the government's hands or in somebody else, they'll let your ass drown. It's disgusting to see the military. All this shit talking, everybody talking about, oh yeah, we got the baddest military. The fuck? Every time I read, it keep talking about, oh look, the military is understaffed. They're not pulling in the applicants they need, so they dropping the bar a little bit. They dropping the bar a little bit lower than it just to get people in the ranks. Fired all these people because they didn't take shots, and you think they're gonna come back? You think they're gonna put their life back on the line for a government that fired you, gave you no choice, but took your well-being, took the joy you had in protecting or being showing your patriotism to the country that you swore to protect, and you being fired because you didn't make a choice that they agreed with. And then I guess some of them will some go back. I don't know. I know I wouldn't. If I was in there, I wouldn't serve in this military period because and it's not to down anybody else who's served, because I'm in a family where so many have served. It just they've been lying so much to people about shit. Why the fuck would you? You're nothing but a tool then. Until these folks get the truth and revelations that are coming out is exposed for what it is, then maybe people could serve with pride. Right now, you looking at a motherfucker like, damn, what am I serving? It's disgusting what's going on. And people are sitting here acting like this shit is a cakewalk or something. Like, it's disgusting. It's disgusting to see these folks having to battle with these folks taking their farms and shutting them down and all this other stuff. You know, and then when you go into why they doing it, it all boils around these bogus ass remedies that's coming out from institutions like the WEF, World Economic Forum, and other groups that people didn't vote for. You know, like why the fuck are we going? Why the fuck are we going by shit that somebody in Europe somewhere wrote up? And maybe that's good for them over there, but what the fuck they got to do with us? And who the fuck even decided to bring that into our conversation? You know, sick crazy. It's disgusting. It's really disgusting what the fuck is going on. It's disgusting to see people out here just out here scared to fuck to death, man. That's real talk. I say it all the time when I talk with people around me. You gotta be scared. You gotta be fearful if you sitting up here in your house with a mask on, walking around in your house that you pay taxes to these robbing ass motherfuckers for. You know, the taxes that's supposed to go toward different shit to help out the community or whatever. You know, you damn near you gotta go to the fucking city council or to different groups, and you damn near gotta raise hell every time you go just to get shit done. But now all of a sudden, you know, it seems like now they want to jump on certain stuff. I know where I'm at, but it doesn't. That don't account for so many years of just going, neglecting, and negating shit. And now motherfucker want. And the sad thing about it, half the shit can't get done because motherfucker don't even have that knowledge no more, especially in old areas. Like, what the fuck y'all been doing all this time? Where that money that could have been going for them studies or whatever? Nothing. These folks is bullshit. Both parties ain't shit. I don't give a fuck. They better not never put a mic in front of my hand and mainstream media ever because I'm gonna so what I got to say soon after I say it, they're gonna be like, oh, hurry up, censor. Probably they already know they tracking and doing all that shit. I don't give a fuck. Because the motherfucker gotta stand on their truth. This is my truth. My truth is not the same as anybody else's truth, but there are many who have similar truths. Sad, man. Really sad and disgusting what's going on. And since I brought up the Brittany Griner, what's disgusting about that is the fact that people would sit up here and try and legitimize that whole optics of that. I'm not caring one bit about the fact that, oh, well, Brittany Griner, they let her out. I'm, you know, okay, cool. She's out. She's free. I don't want to see nobody locked up, especially when you got all these coward motherfuckers sitting up doing shit and they're not being locked up. They're not being held accountable. They're not being held accountable for murders of millions of people across the fucking planet. They're not being held accountable for all the bullshit, lies, and distortion of truth that's causing people to suffer, many tragically. You don't see anybody being held accountable. No. It's always the bottom of the barrel. Those at the bottom, they, you know, you gotta go through so much while other motherfuckers walk their ass on like ain't nothing happened. No, that's disgusting. If you're gonna let her out, then let other people out. What's the whole deal? I never understood that. What was the whole deal about her getting her out? First of all, when she knowingly broke the fucking law in another country. How do you argue that? And it's so sad, it's disgusting to see black people sit up here, oh, because she's black and this and that and third, that's supposed to be a rite of passage that our ass get taken out. Whoever it was, if it was a different person, they still should not have been looked at in the way that they were looked at. This shit was totally political. And what did it do? All it did was show how dumb motherfuckers here are still. So it's like, why the fuck would you waste? Why would motherfuckers be sitting up here pushing this shit about Brittany Griner? And then after doing this shit, after doing this trade with a weapons salesman, and how ironic is that? In a country with all this violence and gun violence and all this stuff, all this bullshit that these politicians, all these liars and hypocrites been saying over the last 7 months, since you had all these shootings and people just out of nowhere just going crazy and shooting people. Oh, we gotta get the guns, we gotta get the weapons, we gotta get all this. And here it is, you sit the fuck up here and you let a motherfucker out for her. And this dude here is a weapons, a seller of weapons, military grade weapons, all that shit to terrorist groups. Like, you know, they say they always just been a war of terror and all this shit. But yet you let somebody out, you trade somebody for that. And now the argument is, why would y'all let her out? Y'all got all these people here that could have been let out before her. Y'all got the man who Paul Whelan and all that. And then the argument starts. Well, Paul Whelan I done heard so much shit just off the back end. A lot of it may be white folks, a lot of it may be black folks trying to justify that shit. But I done heard people saying, well, Paul Whelan, he got dishonorably discharged and all that. Everybody looking for something to try and justify that shit. There's no justifying that dumbass shit. It's disgusting. So it's like, I did turn. So I look at it like, what about those who did the same fucking crime, supposedly? And if America felt that much engaged with it, then maybe you should be starting to talk have that same energy with everybody else who done the same shit. Now, I'm not going to give Brittany a pass on nothing. That girl knew what the fuck she was doing, and everybody's sitting here acting like that shit was cool that she did, but she knew what she was doing. She been playing in Russia for what, over a year or so? She been going back and forth for some time, so she know how they work. So it ain't like she was going in there with whatever she had, the marijuana or whatever that shit she was dealing with. And I smoke, so I know what the fuck. And if I know I ain't about to go over to no other country with no weed unless it's lawful, or I know what's gonna happen. And if I get caught, then I know I took that chance. Who the fuck am I blaming on? But the argument is they want to say Russia was well, they charged her with some stuff. It was more than what the fuck did they do here? You still got people here locked up on weed charges when you got the shit damn near legal. That's near half of the fucking country. So get the fuck out of here. Disgusting. And they're using this whole fucking this whole little shit to keep people back and forth, running their fucking jaws, and they ain't talking about shit. While the main motherfucker sit up here controlling that dumbass shit, keeping this bullshit going, nobody says a word. Who really made that decision? Oh, Russia did. No, fuck out of here. Because I don't care about all these leaders in all these other countries. They all full of shit. Their countries, the people that live in them countries, I'm pretty sure they're tired, just like in China. You know how they try to make it seem like China's always the enemy and all this shit, but yet them folks in China bucking and going crazy about them folks locking them down to a point now they backing up a little bit on those methods. But it's already out there. Them folks are sick of that goddamn shit they dealing with. So if you got communist people who grew up under communist shit, sick of their own fucking governments, then so that same sentiment don't reach so-called democratic countries, and the shit that the citizens see. It ain't like a motherfucker ain't seeing this shit. Motherfuckers see it. Motherfuckers that say they don't see it is because they don't want to or they're in denial about it. But there's a big ass elephant in the room. You know, ain't no way around that. Big fucking woolly mammal. Matter of fact, it ain't even an elephant. It's a woolly fucking mammal. So not only do you have a woolly mammoth in the room, you can't help but see that motherfucker. It's an extinct animal, supposedly. So now you're like, damn, yes, disgusting what these folks are doing. Disgusting what people are allowing themselves to continue to accept. It's totally disgusting. The whole shit with all these lying ass, the press secretary and all these liars and all that shit. How do you do that shit? How do you even claim a moral code, righteous code, when you literally are supporting shit that's totally going against humanity as a whole in each area? Here we're dealing with shit that's dealing with just the culture of America. Everybody over here feels so entitled to certain shit. So, you know, I know because I come from that shit, man. I see it. I feel it. Hell, I done lost people all around me. It's no fucking way I'm going to sit up here and continue to accept what anybody got to say according to what this system. Too many lies, too many, and then if you don't research, you don't do your own studying, you don't do your own looking up shit, you don't take the opportunity to meditate and pray and ask for that information to come to you or be given the guidance to bring that, you're not going to see it. You're going to be caught up in this same motherfucking circle, this same circle. Never ending circle, just over and over, a cycle, just over and over. And it's like right now it's time out for that shit. I talk with people every day. Too many people seeing this bullshit for what it is. And it's like, that's the spirit that needs to bring this shit to an end. Because I don't give a fuck what a motherfucker say. This goddamn system is collapsing and it fucking needs to. Shit. Who the fuck want to continue to deal with that shit? That's the disgusting part about it. How do you fucking want to keep dealing with a system that continue to lie to you, continue to keep you in a state of perpetual fear, continue to keep you in a state of perpetual infighting? Makes no fucking sense. So, sad, man. It's real sad. But I had to get on here and just get this rant off because this shit is ridiculous, man. You know, they talk all this shit. It sounds good to hear all the bullshit that's going on. We're in the middle of the holiday season, too. It's like so many people want to act like, you know, I don't knock nobody for what they do, the holidays or whatever. If that's you, do it. If it makes you happy, do that shit. If it gives you a peace of mind, you do it. But stop acting. But you know, one thing people gotta stop doing is stop acting like the way you look at shit or the way you think shit supposed to be is something that somebody else will accept or because it's not. It's not. We all have different viewpoints, perceptions, and shit. But now you have a majority. You have a lot of people who totally. They may not know where they might not have a total understanding of shit, but the main thing is they know it's some bullshit going on. Just like when the red flags are raised, when you in your own little different shit, like I said earlier, and you know this person here is shady, or that sounds like some shady shit. It should be the same fucking instinct when dealing with these folks. I've been feeling this way for years. It's just after this bullshit happened a few years back with the murders of so many people. Now it's out. It's no way around it now. Hell, they murdered my parents. What the fuck? They murdered other loved ones. I don't know, man. It's so much hypocrisy out here. So many people want to judge folks. People want to judge. How the fuck you got the right to sit up and judge anybody? And I be saying that shit even in the black neighborhood, in amongst us in the neighborhood. What the fuck you want to judge folks? And you sitting up here keeping your mouth shut about all this shit going on from the top down. Get the fuck out of here, man. But with that, man, I'm gonna slow down. It's hurtful and it's disgusting. It's fucking sad, and you can't help but be infuriated and frustrated sometimes. But the thing that grounds me, I always know and put my faith in God. Period. That all things will work out for the good of those who love the Lord, God Almighty. You know? And even though some things may not look like or seem like, there's always something working in the unseen. And that's how I look at it. But a person can't, it's almost like you can't, I feel like it's no way a person can move forward unless you understand what's really happening. You acknowledge it. You have to acknowledge this shit. You know, that's how I look at it. If you're just going along with it, like my man, I have a partner, he said this shit about a month ago, and it's relevant. It's the real talk. And a lot of people say it's like people out here are faking the fuck, are faking it to make it. People are doing shit, are literally want people to fake shit. In order for you to live, in order for you to live comfortably, you gotta fake on issues. You gotta be a fake person about issues, about all this shit. You gotta be fake about whether you agree with this or whether you agree with that. You gotta be a fake about whether you agree with this part of your racial history or culture, or you don't. You gotta agree about all this shit. You gotta agree about this part of your country or your so-called patriotism and all this shit. You gotta agree. You gotta fake even when you know in your heart it's not there. And will never be there, because a lot of people, I know how I feel, and since we are all one, all of us come from one creator. We all have an aspect. Nothing new under the sun, but I know other people out there thinking the same way because I never heard it out their fucking mouth. It's sad, man. Fucking sad. So fucking sad, man. It's so fucking sad. But the time of all the shit being hidden, and it's obvious. It's obvious as day that this is what's happening. That over the last several years, that a lot of stuff has just been revealing itself. It's just been coming out. A lot of stuff that's been completely hidden, completely kept away from majority of peoples across the planet, who have been told certain things about certain things. And now all these years building up, shit not making sense. And all this, people seem to be losing more than they're gaining as years continue to go on. All this immoral shit that's just becoming regular day shit now, and all this bullshit that people don't even want to talk about. Why are we even discussing that? Now it's the talk of the day now, and all. Like, who gives a fuck? I'm facing eviction. I'm facing my $3,000 heating bill. Y'all sitting over there talking about this bullshit. Fuck out of here. Man, please. Many need to see it for what it is. I'm thankful every day of the blessings that God allowed me to have in my family, and wherever I can be of any assistance, I can be there. But at the same time, I'm not going to compromise my being for nobody else's instability. And that's what people need to step in their empowered self and say, I love you and everything. I hope the best and want the best for all. But I'm not putting myself in no position where I'm going to be sitting there nodding my head in agreement and faking and going along with shit when you know goddamn well it's not right. That'll be a slap in the face, not only to people who have died in the struggle of trying to bring truth out here, I ain't just talking about no racial truth. I ain't just talking about all people trying to find out, the different cultures. I'm talking about truth, period, that encompasses all of God's creatures, including us, who human beings who act like fucking creatures. All this devilish shit and all this bullshit going on. People running around here scared of horror movies and all this shit. Look at the mind that come out. That's a human being. That's us. All this shit that's coming out all this stuff, all this devilish and fucked up shit. Who's actually doing this shit? It's fucking us. And you got a puppeteer just sitting back doing this shit, and motherfuckers just rolling like it ain't got, like they don't know how to think for their goddamn self, man. That is disgusting. It hurts me to the core, especially to hear and see so many so-called mouthpieces and established people who supposedly did this and did that, and they garnered this much respect and have all these accolades and got all these these diplomas and this and that and all this bullshit. They highly this and considered highly intellectual, and yet they sit up and are silent when the people need to be the loudest. That's disgusting. It's sad. It's shameful. It's fucking shameful that people would sit up here and run out here and protest about Roe versus Wade, but don't have nothing to say about kids being forced, having all this sexual innuendo forced upon them, whether it's dealing with real women or whether it's dealing with homosexuals or transgenders. It's sickening and it's false and it's stupid as hell. Hypocrites, man. A world of fucking hypocrites. I looked at that shit, and I'm about to get off here. I looked at it the other couple weeks ago, like in some of the Muslim countries, they were executing people. It's like, it's the same shit. Like over here, I seen something, but it's different methods. They were getting mad at them folks over there who started protests in Iran. And the sad thing about it is they literally want to execute those who, so that's like killing people for wanting to think outside of the box. How is that even right? That just showed the hypocrisy in a person's flawed way of thinking, even in that aspect religiously. But come on, man. Do you really think these motherfuckers issuing these decrees that execute these folks, do you really think they living according to the shit that they're executing people by? They probably should have been dead 20 years ago. How many people done died in that state in 20 years and they probably done gave the okay? And how much shit that these folks probably were supposedly found guilty for, that these same people that did the same fucking shit, or those in a circle, and you don't see them getting their heads cut off. You don't see them getting marched into a stadium so everybody can see them get killed. And then, the same barbaric shit that been going on centuries ago. For some, it's almost like it's an energy from that somebody feeds off of. And this is something that people have to understand. That all this satanic and demonic shit that everybody keep talking about, they scared of, and they roll with Jesus and Jesus got their back. And you sit up here communicating and supping and communing with the same motherfucker, demonic, satanic forces controlling your life, and want to sit up here and act like you in good hands. Get the fuck out of here. 1 minute, you can say the devil know the Bible and all that shit. The devil also know government and all that shit. No black history, no white history, no all that shit. No human history, if we want to get into that argument. But people need to open up and see that this shit ain't really nowhere near what these folks have been saying. And it's sad because so many people have lost their lives, so many years, so much time has passed. So many people have been in the dark, and now light is lighting up so much shit that now people can't help it but see it for what it is. And I just pray that people continue to rise above this bullshit, become more aware into the reality that we are in. I just wanted to share that. I had to get into this rant. It was needed. I ain't been on here in a minute, so what's up? But I'm gonna get ready to get off here. I stand on it. Both parties ain't shit. And before I get off, the Democrat, Republican, that whole line of well, the Republicans don't give a fuck. They are always racist, and I don't even understand how any motherfucking black person can say that shit. And you sit up here looking at Democratic policies constantly. This is the most ignorant shit I have ever seen in my life right now with those of the group that I am from. Continuing to play these talking points when the talking points don't even add up anymore. Not only from the Democratic perspective, but even from the Republican perspective. All these Republicans, they were, they more about the budget and maintaining, but yet they ready to continue to feed the military industrial complex, the prison complex, the medical complex. They're willing to feed that shit off the backs of your ass. So how is that even any better? This, well, they fought for this and they fought, man, everything these folks claim they fought for. The little crumbs that a person is getting, or whatever little bullshit that person may seem as a blessing or whatever, you can guarantee that that on the flip side, it's nothing compared to what motherfuckers are enriching themselves off of and patting themselves on the back because they done gave you a bone. Get the fuck out of here. And with that, I'm gone. I pray that each and every person find the truth or whatever they need to do. And it's nothing against anybody. I got much love for all because I want peace and prosperity and harmony to come for everybody. These folks been lying about this world. They've been lying about shit that's been going on all across the board. So many people saying it. So many people saying, see, if people will realize that if you take that much energy when you get on TikTok and all this other bullshit to talk about nonsense shit, but you notice that people that talk about shit that really is about the stuff that's going on, you get all this shit. People want to take people down and talk all this shit. I don't give a fuck. Me personally, I don't care. I've stated it. I mean, this should be something that a person should be willing to die for. To stand on truth, especially when you know that truth is constantly at odds with this fake ass reality that's constantly causing so much suffering and pain. I done lost too many people. I done heard of too many people losing people. I done lost people. I done seen too much suffering to continue to want to lay down and continue to buy this bullshit for what it is. They fake, they're phony. All these governments are corrupted. They have been infiltrated, and it's up to those who really want change to do what they need to be done. So when you see people that's in government positions or whatever doing shit, they get called out, and they trying to overthrow this bullshit. They trying to put information out here that's totally not in accord with the so-called sanctioned information. And that sanctioned information, this whole shit that has been sanctioned, like you can't speak outside of what's sanctioned. Fuck that. So I send peace and love to everybody, that all this shit will come to the light and everyone will be able to make a decision, see it for what it is, and move forward. And I say these things with much love. And the same greeting words as I came in the universal words of peace. Have a great day. Have a great week. And I may or may not be back on here in a few. I come as the spirit leads me. So with that, I send much love. Peace.